The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on your favorite social media and with all your friends and neighbors, because if it's happening on the Treasure Coast, you'll probably hear about it on the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. As a matter of fact, right now, here's the host of the show herself, the one and only Sue Ellen Sanders.
Thank you. And yeah, what a coincidence. Here I am. You were talking about me and we're right here. I'm so lucky to be here and lucky to be coming up on St. Patrick's Day, because it's one of my favorite times of the year because of the Shamrock Run that is coming up. I have Carla Avias and Jerry Andrenko. Andrenko? Is there an N in there?
Andreko.
Yes.
Andreo.
No,
Andreko.
Andreko.
Andreko. Okay. It's the
Andreko.
Italian. It's the Italian on my brain. And
No, Slovak.
yes. Okay. Jerry and Carla are here representing Crosstown Runners. And
Hello.
yes, welcome to the show. And I am so glad that you're here. And I'm so excited that we have the race coming up right around the corner. And so we'll talk about that event. And we'll also talk about the Crosstown Runners, because, you know, you're a running and walking club in Port St. Lucie. And, you know, there are lots of other opportunities on the Treasure Coast where you can meet people to walk or run, but not a whole lot in Port St. Lucie. You guys, you're kind of it. So,
Yes.
we'll talk a little bit about that.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having us. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't believe it has been a year since, you know, we did the same, the radio show.
Yes.
And here we are again with the Shamrock St.
Yes. So the Shamrock 5K used to, you may remember it as originally it was the Crosstown 5K, and it was called the Crosstown 5K because it was when the Crosstown first opened. But now that's a busy road and that's not so much fun to run on.
Yeah, two bridges, right? Two bridges. Yeah, we decided to do it, to start from the last year from Manatee Academy. And it's one loop. It's 3.1 miles, exactly 3.1 miles. And there is no way that you're going to get lost or make the wrong turn. It's flat, it's fast.
Flat.
Yes, it's fun. And we also have the kids dash. It's a family event. We're going to have lots of vendors, raffles, great prizes. And it's a great opportunity for the whole family to get involved.
The race is March 16th this year. So,
Yes. March
day before
16th.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, and that's a Saturday, and you start at 7:30 in the morning. So you should have gorgeous weather.
Yes.
So not only is it a fast, flat course, but it's also a great weather course. I hope I'm not jinxing it here by saying that. But generally in the middle of March, you have really nice weather. And if you don't, it's just a 5K. So it's over like in 30 minutes or so.
You can walk, you can run, you can walk, run. Everyone is is invited. Some people, they ask me, oh, do I have to run the whole time? And I said, no, I mean, if you just started walking, if you're starting running, it's a great opportunity. And also we're gonna have a lot of people cheering on. And it's just for the great charities, raising funds for that. That's a great event. Yeah.
So how many, if you count Crosstown 5K and the Shamrock 5K, what number of years is this race for you?
This is our 4th annual.
Your 4th annual.
Yes.
Okay. And again, it's coming up on March 16th and registration is open now.
Yes.
Are you on Red Sign Up?
Yes, it's in runsignup.com/crosstown5k. And it's going to be open on race day as well. And we close the registrations March 16th at 7:15 in the morning, since we start running at 7:30 on race day.
So you could even show up on race day and register too.
And register, yes.
But
Yeah.
meanwhile, it's a good idea to register ahead of time because, well, you have that nice shirt on. Is that this year's shirt or is that last year's?
This is last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are like including the colors of the flag, the Irish flag. So this is the green. For this year, we have the orange color. It's
Okay.
really pretty. It's really beautiful. And actually have some samples. Yeah. So I'm gonna show it at the end of the show also.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
really, really
Awesome.
pretty.
Well,
Yeah.
if people are listening on the radio this weekend, because it runs on Saturday and Sunday,
Mhm.
at 7 a.m., we'll have to describe it. So it's orange this year, which is great because if you're a runner or a walker, whether you're running at dusk or at dawn, it's really nice to have a shirt that people can see, can
Right.
spot you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think I've seen another orange one. Well, maybe Food Bank. Food Bank does their shirts.
Yes. Yeah. And then we have the short sleeve and we have the long sleeve, just like last year. Yes.
She's saying she wants to, the other door is open, Maisie. You can go out the other door. I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about the start of the Crosstown Runners, how the club got to be started, and let people know about your different events that you have other than the 5K as well.
Right. Yes. So we started a little bit over 8 years already. We started running in Crosstown evening. It was just 2 people. And then little by little, we were inviting more and more. And the group started growing. And that's how we decided, meeting on Wednesdays at 6:15 p.m. So we have been doing this for, as I said before, a little over 8 years. We invite walkers, we invite runners, all ages. Sometimes we have, it's crazy that I have a very good friend of mine that she started bringing her son, and now her son is 14
Yeah.
years old. He's so grown up, and it's unbelievable, It's
You
beautiful
get to
to see
watch
them
them
grow.
grow up.
Yeah, to watch them grow. And we became a nonprofit organization also. Now we meet on Sundays, but we meet Sundays. Crosstown Floresta is the Submarine Veterans Park
Mhm.
at 8 in the morning, and walkers or runners. So we have like 2 different places to meet.
Well, the Sundays is the Submarine Veterans Park. Wednesdays is still at McChesney Park,
Right,
Okay.
that is correct.
and that's at 6 p.m.
So
Yeah.
Wednesday is in the evening
Yes,
at McChesney Park, and that's right down the street from the high school, from St. Lucie West
Yes,
Centennial High School.
yes.
that is correct. We have, we have a lot of events. We do once a month, we call it tailgate party. We celebrate birthdays, we celebrate achievements from our runners. When they run the races, we have a lot of endurance runners as well. So we celebrate that. We have Crichton. You remember Crichton McCutcheon? So he brings his music. So we socialize. We do also a lot of social events.
It's kind of like you have a running and walking family.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We are involved also with Adopt the Street program. We adopted the street. We clean the streets we run. And we meet on the last Saturday of the month. And that's one of the events we have. Throughout the year, we collect, for example, December, we collect toys for New Horizons for the kids. We have a couple of events coming also. We would like to do like a backpack, like a drive before the kids start school to
help with their, whatever their needs are.
Right.
We know that a lot of teachers are putting money into the pot.
Oh, yeah.
To help the kids, and they need help.
They, they do. So it's nice that you're able to, all year round, you may only have one fundraising race, but all year round, your members and your friends of members and your relatives of members help give back to the community that you're.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Of course, like Carla said, we do the toy drive. We also do a baby shower. We collect babies' needs,
And the mothers too.
and
That's
for
kind
the
of
moms.
new, isn't it?
Yeah, some of the moms are in shelters and whatnot, and
Yeah.
uh,
That is through the health department,
Okay,
San Lucie Health Department. So
that's
we do-
awesome.
Yes, that's coming in May. So we have a lot coming, which is great. Also, we did remember the shoes event?
oh yeah, we had collected old shoes, old running shoes, to help people who can't afford new shoes.
We donated them to the
And
Race Village.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing about runners' shoes, some of the older runner shoes is they're not, you may change the shoe you're wearing. I know you and I are the same that, we'll run in one shoe and then the next, like 2 weeks later, we'll go, but look at that shoe that person has, and that looks good, and I'd like to try that. So some of the shoes that I own are not very
Brand new.
worn at all. Yeah.
Right, they're just like brand new.
Yeah.
And Fleet Feet also, they for this drive, they donated a lot of shoes as well to the cause. So we have a lot of support in the community from Fleet Feet as well.
and we're also still associated with Hands Clinic. They provide healthcare and dental, hearing, eyes, mental health. Everything is pro bono.
Mhm.
And,
For people who don't have insurance.
yeah,
Yes.
or even if they are
Underinsured.
underinsured,
Yeah.
So we're attached to Hands Clinic in that way. Some of the proceeds from our run go to them. We're associated with Safe Space, which is an organization that assists people who are in situations with domestic abuse.
Mhm.
The kids that are in those situations need a lot of help also. We're involved with the Pan American Roundtable, which
What is that?
They're an organization that helps children, I should say, young adults who are in high school waiting to go to college, who can't afford to go to college. So we help in that way by giving
Okay.
money to them for tuition.
Okay.
Yes, and also Macy's Believers.
Yes, Macy's Believers is an organization that was started by a mom who has a daughter who has type 1 diabetes. And of course, there's a whole story there. But a lot of people are not aware of type 1 diabetes and the cause, the effects. And it's an awareness kind of an organization. So we help them also.
Great. So, every year when you have this race, about how much money do you raise with the race? How many runners do you have? How much does it cost to run? Can you give me some of the specifics?
Absolutely. So when we open the race, like a very minimum fee, which is $30. And as the time goes by, we have to increase
Right.
the amount. So far, we have the registration for $50. Also, we have the no shirt option of today is $20. But the majority of the income is coming from our sponsors, because as you know, well,
It
you have
costs a lot
organized.
of money, yes.
It costs a lot of money to organize a 5K. We have the cost of the medals, the t-shirts, masters, overall winners, all the age groups,
The timing
the
company,
timing company.
yeah,
We hire the police,
Janitors for the bathrooms.
janitors for
Yeah.
so everything adds up. So when you add it up, at the end, it's a very minimum that you have left. So we appreciate every single sponsor, like from the bottom of our hearts, that have helped us in any way, monetary, prices, giving us for raffles, everything. I mean, every little thing is helpful because it all adds up.
Mhm.
So, so far we have 46 sponsors in one or all.
Wait a minute, did you say 46?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
46. It's a lot of work.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
a lot of work.
It is.
And also, I mean, I understand the sponsors, because everybody, just having their time to pick up the phone and answering us, like, take the timing, okay, let me see what I can do, and following up. And actually, we have members from our club that have been been going above and beyond, going to their managers, saying, going to their bosses, say, hey, this is my running club, can we help them? They don't even know who we are, they just trust their employees. And even my where I work, the dental office I work, I said, hey, can you help us? And they're like, of course. So we're like so thankful for all of them.
Yeah, and then also, even if we stop in at a restaurant, or I should say, restaurants that we patronize often, and you get to know people who own the businesses, not just restaurants, but all kinds of businesses. We of course,
Like hairdressers.
advantage of them, of our friendships and our patronage.
You know what really cracks me up, and I know you hear this too, that I've been a race director and a race founder on the Treasure Coast and in other areas for more than 15 years. So people will call me up or send me a note and say, how do I put together a race? Because it seems like an easy way to raise money. And
it's not.
I know. I always have to say, okay, calm down, Sue Ellen. Don't go.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is, it's not an easy way to raise money, but those of us who are part of the running community, it's something near and dear to our heart. And not only are you raising money as a fundraiser, but you're providing a wonderful opportunity for runners and walkers to get out there, for everyone from people who are running or walking their first 5K to people who just do it like it's their religion.
Sure.
And you get all of these
Yeah,
people
it's not only, it's the health, it's the camaraderie, new friendships. Carla and I met running, there's beautiful relationships.
Yes. My husband and I met.
I know.
And that's like 40 years ago. So,
imagine. I mean, you never know. And one finish line can just change your whole life. I remember when I did my first 5K was Susan Common I did it with my son. And I had a great memory because, of course, it was with my son, and I had no idea of what I was doing. I remember that I ran with a backpack. I was like, okay, what do I do with it? Because, the swag bags and everything. And I'm like, okay, what do I do with this bag? So, I put it in my backpack and I regret it. So then, yes. And I took off of course, at the first mile,
Of
and I was
course, that's the
dying.
other funny thing about a first-time
Yeah,
runner,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And then, okay, and you don't drink water. I mean, it was like, I didn't even train for that. So then after that, with one 5K under my belt, that same year, I signed up to train for my first full marathon. And I was like, people is like, are you crazy? You didn't even do like a half or a 10K. And I said, no, I didn't even know. Sometimes it's better not knowing, honestly. And I trained with Fleet Feet back in Stuart. It's
The
store in
Wednesday
Stuart.
night runs. Yeah.
Yes, and I used the Jeff Galloway program, walk run. And I tell everybody, listen, that's how I started running, doing the walk run intervals, 4 minutes run, 1 minute walk, or you can do 2-2 or 1-1. And I was a good start, and I finished. I crossed the finish line, but it changed my mind, it changed my life, because I haven't stopped ever since. And I have met wonderful people, great friends that I'm still, in touch with. And it's like also it's a good therapy for me going running. Sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I'm tired, and I have a great husband, and he's like, stick to the plan, Carla, stick to the plan. So
shucks.
and I do my run. And if I'm tired, I walk, run, or I just walk, but I just love it. And with my club also.
That's the other thing too. Running is a fantastic catharsis.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you come
It
home
sure
from work.
is. And there
and-
are so many programs out there to help train
Right.
you.
Yeah.
If you want to do a longer distance,
Right.
or you can just get someone to give you advice, because there's always somebody that's part of one of the club runs that's somebody who's been running for 15 or 20 years, or someone that's a newbie who's so excited about it, they've done all the research, and they can share with you what a schedule should be like, and help you, to achieve your purpose, to finish, or to finish better than you did the time
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
We have one of our board members right now, as a matter of fact, he's training for his first full marathon. And everybody who has the experience has been kind of taking him under the wing and giving him all the advice that he needs and encouragement.
Yes. And he's how old is he?
Oh, he's 67, I believe.
67. So imagine, I mean, it's never too late. Never too late.
No, and that's the thing about running too, is you can run at any age.
Any age.
Because you just adapt it to what your capabilities are.
Sure. And we recently had 2 young ladies join the club, I guess about 6 months ago, and they ran their first 5K together.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they're addicted, and they've been doing great. They, been showing up at the runs and looking at longer distances. You know how that is. You get caught up in again the camaraderie and I remember signing up for race, not just for the t-shirts, although I like the t-shirts, but because of the causes. And we've got a great cause here, with
yes.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing too about if you aren't sure where you want to give funds to, and you're tired of getting phone calls where people are soliciting for this or that, and you've got to figure out what is good and what is not, and what's a ripoff. If we know that Crosstown has already vetted the people that you are giving money to, the organizations. So kind of like you're like the good housekeeping seal of approval.
Yeah.
And people can have the fun and run a race And at the same time, they can give back to a variety of different causes, which makes it.
And I
Easy.
think also, Sue Ellen, that our sponsors, I mean, we were talking before, 46 sponsors, they're cognizant of what we do and
Mhm.
how we're spreading the money in their own communities.
Right.
And,
Right. It's very, very local. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
It's
It is
very
very
local.
local. The
Those
money that you're
organizations,
giving-
they have been in the, you know, in the Treasure Coast for years. Everybody knows about them, or most of, you know, knows about them. So we're really proud to help them, you know,
And I want to emphasize again how thankful we are to the sponsors. We couldn't raise the money we have if it really weren't for the sponsors. But also, as you know, it is so much work to put a race on. We have a fantastic board.
Yeah.
And a fantastic race committee. All the board members are on that race committee, plus other people who run with us
Yeah.
are on that race committee.
yes,
They've all helped in some way. And then, of course, the participants, people run the race for maybe the t-shirt or maybe the medal, but I think most of the people are trying to help their community by doing that race. They see it's a good opportunity to help their local community.
And let's talk a little bit, and we always get on this subject, Carla and I, when we're in a room together, about the magic of running and the fact that your running and walking friends and partners become so close to you that it's like it's not like an ordinary friendship or relationship. A
Right.
running friendship is like on steroids.
yes, yes, absolutely. It's I think, how can I say, we encourage each other, you know, we celebrate our accomplishments, we push each other, and it's a good thing when you have a group, when you join a group also, because it's you feel like, okay, accountability. And when you're going there and then you disappear for 2-3 weeks, you have that phone call, or I'm making that phone call, or a text message. Hey, are you okay? Is
Where you
everything
been?
okay? Where have you been? You know? So, okay, so they started showing up and everything. We have things in life, we have families, work and everything. But one thing I have, and I like to share with the most of the members in the group, that we have to make that time to show up. It's so important, because especially women, we put everything else, you know, in front of us. Like we put our jobs, other responsibilities, and not the things that we enjoy, like walking or running, or just going outdoor, and which is good for us, for mental health and physical health, you know. So one of the things that I have like in my list priorities, you know what, I'm gonna do my workout, I'm going to do my training, because this is important to me. And that doesn't mean that the other things are not important, but you know, it's your health is important as well. So for example, tomorrow I'm meeting with these 2 ladies at 5 in the morning. We are gonna go running at 5 in the morning, and it's like, okay, we're gonna be there, we're gonna be watching for each other, we're gonna support and pushing, you know. And that's a great thing when you have a group of people waiting for you. Like, even if you walk, even if it is not the same, sometimes it's not gonna be the same pace or maybe the same distance.
But you're all starting together.
Yes,
And
we
you're all
start
counting
together.
on each other. Like you could, if you're meeting people to run at 5 o'clock in the morning, how easy would it be for you when the alarm goes off for you to turn over and go back to sleep?
Yes,
But you know you have these other women who are
Right.
waiting for you.
yes. And you exactly, you don't want to disappoint them, and you don't want to disappoint yourself either.
It's
So,
that accountability. It
yes.
is.
So and also for the Wednesdays and Sundays, we wait for everyone to come when they come
We
back.
make sure, we ask them to sign
Yeah.
a register when they show up on Wednesday nights or Sunday mornings.
Mhm.
Let us know how far you're going. If you're going 2 miles and you're longer than an hour, I know to come look for you.
Right,
So we never leave anybody behind. We also provide them water.
right.
And in that way, what you were talking about before, people start together, but there are different paces, there are different distances, but we always make sure everyone is back before we leave.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's it. That's important too. Have you ever had any emergencies happen on your Wednesday or Sunday runs?
We thought that we had one time, it started thundering and lightning and pouring rain. And there was a lady who was running, and we were waiting for her to come back. This was before we started the register. And waiting and waiting and waiting, and then we started driving around. What ended up happening was she had her husband pick her up over in front of the high school during the storm. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, but we didn't know that. We thought she was still out there, but no real emergency. We just thought we had one.
Yes.
But
that's
you have it
not cool.
covered, but you have it covered in case there ever is one.
Now we do, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
if we see that it's like a storm coming, like the other day that you went to pick up somebody, and if it is lightning, we're there. That's why we stay until everybody comes back and we pick them up if anything. But we have never, knock on wood, had any emergency or anything. Yeah. Yeah, we are always watching for each other. Mhm.
So let's talk a little bit more about the race itself. The race on March 16th, which is a Saturday morning, beginning at 7:30. I'll tell you what, one of my recurring nightmares is that I am pulling up at a race and it's already started.
Yes. Promptly starts at 7:30. Is the day before St. Patrick's, so no excuses for a party night before. The last year, St. Patrick's was the day before. So, some people
Some
they
people
went,
show.
they show because of partying and everything. But this year, you can continue the party. We start at 7:30 in the morning. Registration is gonna close at 7:15. We also have the kids dash. They're gonna start at 8:30. And it's really cute. Last year we had around 18 kids participating. And we have the virtual option as well if you cannot show up on day, or if you're not in town. So you can do the virtual. We have the virtual option, and we have the no shirt option. We have ordered 450 medals, finisher medals. So if you're the first 450 crossing the finish line, there is a medal guarantee for you. Yes. For
How
the t-shirts,
People did you have last year.
last year we had 410 participating. Yes. So far we have 252 sign up. But as you know,
People wait till last minute.
everybody, I'm one of those, I'm guilty on that. I wait until last minute, sometimes the night before.
Not me. I want my shirt guaranteed and my medal guaranteed,
Yes.
And-
So
And then the day after the race, you're already started working on next year's
Yes.
race.
We will open up the race for next year the day after
yes.
this Shamrock 5K.
Yeah. Well, actually, my designer and myself, we already started brainstorming about
Yeah, some ideas
2025
in the works.
for the logo. So we already have it like in
You're
mind.
ready.
So it's you never stop. You know that, Suelen. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So
One year into another. Let's talk, we got a couple more minutes because you talked about Fleet Feet,
Yes.
and how wonderful they are supporting runners.
yes,
And there's a number of other local races that are coming up.
yes. yes.
So I had the calendar pulled up, but it just closed off on me. But I know offhand in May, Fleet Feet has got the
Dreaming of the Keys.
Dreaming of the Keys race.
Right, Dreaming of the Keys race. Fleet Feet has been such a great supporter. And every time that we need something, like
Well, they provide
a
the
sponsor,
venue, they
yes.
provide the venue for us for the packet pickup as an example.
But not only that, if I have a question to ask to Edgar or Mary, they're always there to help because they have all the experience, you know. And even you, Swelling, when I have questions, I text you, hey, can you help me on this?
And Fleet
Yeah,
Feet
those
is
front
generous.
sign up websites are not always easy to
No,
figure out.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
learning something every year.
Yeah.
And but they have been so like very supportive. They have a lot of training programs. Matter of fact, today I believe the store in Tradition, they have like an open house. So everybody, if they're interested in knowing that what they're training for or meeting their coaches, group pacers, so they have that open house tonight, this evening. But they had it yesterday in the one in Stewart as well. But
And
they have been very supportive in the community. Their upcoming race is Dreaming of the Keys. We participated on the Run for Your Heart.
that's in February.
Yeah,
That's
last
February
2 weekends,
race.
yeah, 2 weekends ago, it was a great race. And we had, I think they had like more than 680 people. So they had the 5K and the 10K
Wow.
option.
Yeah.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
And then the week before your race is the Treasure Coast Marathon and
Right,
Marathon.
yes. Actually, next weekend. the
Okay, so
3rd,
it's
yes.
yeah.
Next
Okay.
weekend, the 3rd, we have a relay team. Our board member, he's running his first full marathon. And he's such a nice guy. Oh my God, he's amazing. And so we're gonna be there as well. We are supporting the PC Running Race Series. And it's a series of 10, 12 races
Mhm.
throughout the year, okay? The first one was the Bridge Buster. And so the bridge is like 10, 12 races. You can look it up in PTC Running. And at the end of the year, you need to become a member to accumulate points. Okay.
Right.
When you do all those races, at the end of the year, the Christmas party, they give prizes to the runner who have completed all the races, or depending on the age
Most
group.
improved.
Yes. So, but it's a nice event organized by Brenda Wilson.
Brendan
Yeah,
Wilson, who
yeah.
also is race director for the
Pineapple.
pineapple race, which is at Memorial Day weekend, right?
That is correct. And the registration is open. It's capped, I believe, 500 or 600. Every year is a successful event. And also she is the race director for the Halloween half.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, which you have the option of a relay if you want to create a team of 3 or 2 people.
And that's so much fun. So if you're not quite ready for a marathon, but you want the fun of running in a marathon, the last couple of years I was part of a 3-person team, and it was so much fun.
It is fun. Do you remember the year that we had the relay team?
Yes, yeah, that's right. We had a relay team, and it was for Deb Pizamente's charity. I can't remember what it was for.
Yes.
But it was Treasure Coast Crusaders was our shirt said.
Yeah.
That was a fun, and so you get a little running team, and for those of us who are of an age where we didn't get an opportunity to choose from cross-country teams in high school,
Uh-huh.
we get the opportunity of running on a team of our choosing
Right.
for the half marathon or the marathon as part of the relay run, which is a lot
Right.
of fun.
Yes, it is fun, for sometimes the miles can, of course, they can, just the name of half marathon or marathon can intimidate,
Mhm.
some participants. So you get, to choose if you want to do the relay, so which is a great and fantastic idea. When I talk to Brenda, because it's going to attract more participants and more, and then the next year, maybe the same participant is going to challenge themselves to, hey,
Right.
let me do the whole distance,
They're,
Why
yeah,
not?
they're
Yeah.
gonna say that, that it wasn't so hard running 6 miles. So
Yeah.
they're gonna try to run 13.1 for the half
Right.
or 26.2 for the whole. The other thing that really cracks me up is people who equate 5Ks to marathons. I think
Yes.
all races are marathons.
Marathon.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you're talking to them about running and they say, oh yeah, I ran a marathon. And they tell me about a 5K race. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
you ran and there's, one thing you can guarantee about a marathon runner or a half marathon runner is they will tell you that they.
Oh yeah. They will tell you, they will post it in Facebook and
Yes,
every single
yes.
social media. They're
Yes.
gonna be with the medal for days.
It is.
And why not?
It is.
Why not, right?
And there's so much fun that goes into it too, whether you're training for a 5K like the
Yeah.
Shamrock 5K coming up on March 16th, or you're training for a marathon or a marathon relay like the Treasure Coast Marathon and half marathon coming up on March 3rd. You got plenty of different choices. You could even travel to different races, and that's a lot of fun occasionally too. But the Treasure Coast is just really blessed that there's a whole racing schedule, and really all year round, you can, even during the summer where it's hot as Hades, you can still run races because you've got the pineapple race on the weekend, and then you Memorial Day weekend, and then you also have the races coming up in I think there's a few in August and then coming up in September. It looks like we're finishing up our show. I seem to have we have 10 minutes. I seem to have lost Carla and Jerry. Are you still there? They aren't. So, but anyhow, we'll continue talking about it. And it's Cliff, they might be calling back, and there she is. She's connecting now. So you have races all year round in Florida that you can run because the weather is so mild. But of course, the prime racing season. Hi, you're back. I'm glad you're back. We had about 8 more minutes, and I was going to have to do a lot of fast talking by myself. But so I was talking about the race schedule. I think the most fun races to run are really November, December, January, February, and January, February, and March are just prime racing season in Florida, especially on the Treasure Coast.
Oh, I love this weather. Let me tell you, Sue Ellen. I just love it. I can run in the 40s, 50s, 60s, but when it comes in the 70s, that's it. It's just
And I'm the opposite. I'd rather be in the heat.
yes.
You'd rather have the heat. And we've spent the winter up here in North Carolina, and I've been walking long walks in the morning, but I've been going to the gym to run on the treadmill because I don't like the feel of the cold weather the cold wind on my lungs. But it's really been pleasant. I think it's been maybe 6 months since I sweated.
Maybe that's the problem with me because I sweat so much. Let me tell you. It's like Jerry, when I come back home, when it's hot out there or humid, because it's the humidity sometimes, like it's even worse. He's like, it's like I just took a shower or something. Like
Yeah.
somebody
Except for
just
you
put
don't smell like it.
and because I have to run with salt pills, and that's another story, right? You know, the nutrition
Okay.
when you run.
You know, and we have a few minutes. Let's talk about that because other runners not only give you information on how to run, but how to
Yeah.
prepare yourself for running.
Right.
So, you know, keep hydrated. And even in the wintertime, when the weather looks like it's nice, you still have to stay hydrated. You still have to drink water and Gatorade or
Right. And everybody is different, you know, you say how much you're sweating also, because me in my case, because everybody's different, as I said before, I know I sweat a lot. So I know I had to be drinking. I carry my water after, if I have a training schedule for more than 30 minutes, I know I need to carry my water, my salt pills, and also my gels that is gonna have some extra sodium and carbohydrates, you know, to replenish.
I don't want to scare anybody that's listening to us for the first time if they're thinking about running that they need to take salt pills. Carla's an Ironman triathlete, so she has to really watch her nutrition.
But it's something that not only for multi-sports endurance, you know, for running or even walking. Because water, if you're only drinking water, it's just gonna go through your body. You need the
Right.
electrolytes, you need the magnesium, you need
Yes.
potassium, and sodium, you know.
Yeah.
And that is something that even, you know, in Fleet Feet or, you know, the stores, they can help you on that, and books and reading. But it's more like on the training. When you're training, when I'm training, is when I get to know my body, what I need. When I feel like a little cranky, okay, I need my nutrition right now. You know.
I think the most important thing about all the supplements like that to remember is to practice running with them before you run with them in a race. Like you shouldn't go buy a bunch of gel and a bunch of the little chewy things and start them the day that you're running a marathon. You shouldn't change your diet. You shouldn't change what you're drinking. You get the advice
You don't
first.
even put a new shirt on or a new pair of shoes. You need to break everything in.
That's the truth. I had a friend, we went to Minnesota to run a marathon and he forgot his running shoes. So he had to go to a store and buy a new pair of running shoes, and he was beside himself because you don't wear a new pair of running shoes. So the day before, he wore them all day to try to break them in the day before the race. But yeah, you do what you practiced and you experiment on short runs, not on your marathon or half marathon or even on your 5K.
Yeah.
What's interesting, like we spoke the last time we talked to you, so is that if running doesn't do anything else for you, it gives you lots of stories.
It does. It does. Sometimes, and it gives you lots of really good stories.
Oh my God, let me tell you, my first marathon, let me tell you, I was like, I didn't even know how I finished because I trained, but you don't know a lot of things. And I'm still like 13 years later learning things,
Yeah.
you know? Even if you're doing this for a long time.
I ran my first marathon, New York City,
That was my first.
8.5 months after I started running. And
Yeah.
I could only run halfway. I think I got to the Pulaski Bridge, and then I started walking and running, walking and running. But you have so many stories. I mean, I have a lot of stories just from that one run. You know, it's.
And you know, the funny part is, at least in my case, every time I run something, I say, you know what, this is the last time. That's it. I'm done.
So at that point, nobody, I mean, I was wearing a pair of Bobos from Kmart, purple shoes. We didn't have salt pills.
Yeah.
I remember training with power bars, but no other nutrition other than water. We didn't even have Gatorade wasn't even invented back then.
Oh, boy, you're really reaching back.
The first time they started providing Gatorade at the races, it was
Yeah.
like syrup, you
Yeah,
know, and then they started diluting it because the
Yeah.
sugar, it was
because
just
they
too much.
realized that what people
And
needed
it
was
was
water with Gatorade. Yes, exactly.
Keep on.
It's funny because as you change, as you grow and you change, you know, you look back and see the different people that were part of your life because of the races you were training for. And then they're always, you know, the best friends that I made all my life have always been my running and walking partners. And it's just such a good feeling to know that, you know, they know all your stories. They
Yeah.
know, they know things about you.
Memories.
Yes.
Oh my
My worst
goodness.
memory was also at that race. I
Uh-huh.
got passed by a guy dressed up as Gumby.
My rule is to not be passed by women or men pushing babies in strollers. That's my rule. Everything else is fair game. But yet there's so many opportunities out there for racing, and there's so much support in the running and walking community. Just to go over one last time, so the Shamrock race that's coming up it's a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, and you can walk or run it. It's Saturday, March 16th, beginning at 7:30, and you can sign up on Run Sign Up and look for Shamrock 5K in Port St. Lucie. And there's still opportunities to sign up, but once you get to 450, you won't get a medal. So
That is correct. The
yes.
first 450 who finish cross the finish line, they're gonna have their medal. Right now, we still have some shirts in the inventory.
Yep.
Okay, but there is no guarantee on size or, you know, or long sleeve or short sleeve. So
Okay, so
sign
you got to get on the stick if you're going to run it. Carla and Jerry have been my guests today. They're with Crosstown Runners Club, and you can find out more about them on Facebook too. The running club. It's just a great place to be a part of. You've been listening to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. I'm here every weekend with more. Thanks for joining me today.
This is
Thank you for
WSL
having
Port
us.
St. Lucie.